Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Paul Abraham, Dean of the Eastern Campus, and it's my pleasure to welcome you tonight. Just as we're starting the ceremony, we're going to go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, again, welcome. I hope tonight's December graduation recognition will be special and memorable to all of you for years to come. It's wonderful to see how much support our students have, and that's really critical to their success, from their friends and from their families, and from faculty and staff and special guests who are here tonight. So I want to thank everyone for your attendance. Most students still graduate in the spring, and we have a much bigger event in May. But no matter when students graduate, whenever that occurs, it's something that we have to celebrate. It's a momentous accomplishment. Graduation marks the combination of thousands of hours of study and hundreds of exams and quizzes and writing assignments and projects. The students are in the classroom and they're out in the community working on all kinds of projects. But as that stuff ends, there's a new beginning. Graduation marks the beginning of new horizons. Some students know exactly where they're going, most do not. There's a myriad of possibilities. And some of the great aspects of graduation is getting to figure all of that out. But our students can be assured that they are off to an excellent start in this chapter of their life with an Ohio University degree. Their professors held them to very high standards, and they gave you tools and experience to be lifelong learners. Statistics tell us that you students are going to earn higher salaries, and you're going to have lower unemployment rates, and you're going to have more career options, and you're going to have even better health and longer life expectancy. So you've made good choices and good outcomes ahead. But don't forget that underneath all of that are the important critical thinking and communication skills that you learn and practiced as students. Those will remain with you, and they will sharpen across time as you practice, and they will help you achieve success in your careers and happiness in your personal lives. I'm going to be fortunate to congratulate each one of the graduates when they receive their certificates later tonight. We give them certificates as temporary starts for the diplomas that they'll eventually receive when their degrees are conferred in Athens. So they'll come in the mail. So make sure your mailing address is up to date. But audience, just for now, so our graduates know how proud we are of them, let's give them a big round of applause. So you guys are lucky. This is a shorter ceremony, so you got my short speech. Okay, so I'm about ready to yield the podium, but I do want to introduce some folks who are on the stage. Let me start with the back row. I have Dr. Castle. If you'll stand and just show yourselves. Dave Castle from History, and Dr. Pamela June from English, and Mr. Steve Whitner from biology, and Dr. Ken Knox from applied management, and Lisa Jeffries, and Diane Nickerson from student services, and Victoria McFadden from our alumni office in Athens. It's a pleasure to have them. And then in the first row, Dr. Bill Willen. He's the Executive Dean for Regional Higher Education at Ohio University. His job is, he's in charge of all the regional campuses, and we're one of them. The Honorable Harry White, he's Emeritus Judge for Baldwin County Court of Common Pleas, and he's a member of the Regional Coordinating Council. That's my community advisory group. And Dr. Diana Vargo, retired superintendent of the Ohio County Schools, and she's also a member of the Regional Coordinating Council. And it may seem I forgot someone, but I saved him for last because he's the next speaker. I want to introduce Dr. John Mattox. Probably most of you know John already, but I want to say a few words. His work as curator of the Underground Railroad Museum has played a vital role in helping young people and old from across our region and from across the nation gain a better understanding of the difficult and complex topic of slavery. He has held many significant leadership roles in the community. The list is extensive, and even in the program, there's a little write-up. Even that, we had to do some serious cutting just to get stuff to fit in the pages. But some that I'll mention: Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Ohio Valley Civil War Roundtable, the Belmont Correctional Institute Board, and the Ohio University Eastern Campus Regional Coordinating Council. His work has been recognized with an honorary doctorate from Ohio University in 2008. That doesn't happen very often. And then again in 2016, he was awarded the Austin C. Furley Award for his important and outstanding contributions to the community and to the university. And his contributions are, by all counts, unceasing and continuing to grow. We have a great friend in having Dr. John Mattox. Let's welcome him to the podium.
Hello, everyone. Hello. It is a pleasure to be here, and I would like to take a few moments. Yesterday was a very important day in America, and as a veteran myself, I would like us to have a moment of silence on all of the veterans who have given their lives for the protection of our rights here in the United States of America. Thank you. Being a veteran myself, in fact, something happened about 2 weeks ago. I don't know why, but evidently there are some individuals that felt that I was doing something to help the community rather than those years that I served in the military. They have something in Ohio called the Ohio Hall of Fame for Veterans. And out of 100 individuals, they picked out 22 of them, and I happen to be number 7. So I'm very proud of it, and I try to share that information on community work in any community activity here in the Upper Ohio Valley. I want you to know how proud I am, and I'm going to tell the young people that are sitting in front of me, it would be a gracious chase for you to try and follow in the footsteps of people who have volunteered their services for this country. Doesn't have to be in the military, but do something. You'll be surprised how good it will look on your resume when you go for that job. And what is important about talking to you this evening, I'm a blessed person also. So I want you to know you don't get anything by yourself. Someone has to assist you. You may not recognize it now. So we're going to talk about a few things, and I don't usually read notes because I'm so passionate about what I try to do for young people. But I've lived a long time, and maybe a few things that I share with you, you will remember. You may not remember who was your speaker tonight, but maybe if I can just get to one of you to pick up something that will help you later on in life, then I have done my job. You may not realize now the journey that you must travel. So right now, if your relatives are in the audience, I just want you to acknowledge that they helped you on this journey. And when you realize that you're going to need them or other individuals as mentors on your journey, you're going to find out that you can do the same when your time comes. I found a mentor. I had no interest in history. When I tell my story, it's usually connected with people in the audience that I have no idea who my biological father was. My mother had me at a very young age, between the ages of 14 and 17 years old. A very sick lady. And when she passed away at 26, I was 7 years old. And I came from the great state of North Carolina, one of the states that was part of the Civil War. Have you ever heard of the Great Migration? And I share this with you because every one of us in here has a story. And sometimes individuals feel that their stories are not important. So the little things that I may lay on you tonight, I hope you pick up one or two of them to help you on your journey. I have two wonderful children. One of them is a graduate, which is what you would call the Great Ohio University in Athens. And when you become a member of this team, you have accomplished something. You already know that education is the key, as long as they don't change the locks. And you're going to have to continue to learn and share your knowledge with individuals, just the little things. Today is a great day for you because you are going to get a certificate. I received my certificate way back in 1959. So if you're good at your calculator, you almost know how old I am. And what I'm sharing with you was, I also had to learn something that the dean always remembers that I tell him, street smarts. You have to know how to get along in the street. There was a period of time back in the 40s called the Great Migration, where people of color migrated to the north to get better jobs. And so my mother married a gentleman, and I thought he was a pretty smart guy. Why? He had a car that had a knob on the steering wheel where he could put on short sleeve shirts and show his muscles. And I thought that was pretty cool at 7 years old. Now that's one of the things that you learn when you don't understand that your mother is gone. We migrated to a place called Paterson, New Jersey, which was a ghetto. And I'm sure you know what a ghetto is. I never had a fine time to get an education at that young age. So I had no foundation. But I had an aunt and an uncle who had migrated earlier. They came to visit to see how the new arrivals were doing. Saw that I wasn't being treated like the other two boys because my mother had two other boys before she passed away with my new father. And asked my new father, can we take Johnny Cake to stay with us over in Newark, New Jersey? Yeah, take him. Well, folks, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Now I get a chance to go to South 8th Street Elementary School, Robert Tree Junior High School, West Side High School, run track, play basketball, go to Houston Tillerson College and study sociology and psychology. Had no interest in education at all. All I was thinking about was throwing spitballs and pulling pigtails. But you know, you learn you have to settle down, and that's what this is about. Now, I'm not going to keep you here 3 hours. I'm only going to keep you here 2. No. But what I'm saying is now that I have this opportunity, I'm going to take advantage of it. And that's what you have done. You have taken advantage in this journey to better your lives. And you may be the first or the second, because when I go back and talk about history, I'm usually only the first or the second that have attended college. Now, everyone in this audience has not been to college. And I'm sure that some of your parents worked very hard in the coal mines and the steel mills and sweeping floors and doing other things to get you to where you are now. Don't forget that. And you know, as a veteran, people are always saying, thank you for your service. You know who I want you to thank? your mothers and fathers who gave up everything for you. They're so proud of you being here today. And what is important about this opportunity is I am blessed too. And I want you to know this. I know this for sure, that these older individuals are going to have to listen to you because you are the new generation. And they have to remember that you are young now, but they were young at one time before. And some of the things that you're going to say, they may not agree with. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to them. They're called millennials. I didn't know what that word was, years ago, but this is a group of people that are going to lead us to the next generation. Someone born in 1900 and then lived in the 20th century. We're now talking about the 21st century. And what a great country we live in. And I'll say this, and I'll say it proudly. Those who do not want to stay here, I will be here when they get back. And when you realize how important you have to be in this country, you will take advantage of it. Now, when I look at you, I did something earlier, and I told them I wasn't going to say anything. I had them shake hands. One shook my hand like it was this. The other one shook my hand like this. So I hired two of them because they shook my hand like that. That's the way you get a job. Now, some of the things I'm going to share with you, I want you to know it's not going to take long. Little things that you may not realize that you're going to have to accomplish. When you look at someone and you hear the word diversity, it does not always mean color. You have to be able to understand individuals for what they are, because you are what you do. And so if you look someone in the eye, look them straight in the eye, because these are the individuals that you're going to have to work with. And I say that work because you're going to have to also deal with them in a civic way. And when you meet someone, have a smile on your face. Don't be evil all the time. And sometimes when you realize, like I did when I worked on the racetracks in New York, Aqueduct, Belmont Park, and Santa Anita, I realized I was working with people called blue bloods. You'll never be like them, but they will let you in the door. So remember, when you're meeting someone, to smile. That's called reverse psychology. Now, when I say that, I don't want you to think that you have to hoodwink them into approving of what you do. But you're going to want that job. And you're going to want to move up. And you're going to always have someone in that diverse atmosphere that may not like you. Just look right over the top of their head. Just like you really like them. Now, here's another one that will help you a lot, because we're all worried about money. I retired so many years ago that that 401k has dissipated already. And I want you to know that the only way you're going to be able to retire and really have a good time is save 10% of whatever you make every day. That means the money that you buy the papers with in the morning, you take the change and put it in a little small jar at night. Now, if I can get one of you to do that, you won't have to ask your parents for money when you want to rent your first room. Because you don't want to go back home. You definitely don't want to do that. Now, here's something for you lovers. Find these beautiful girls, and then these good-looking men with the muscles, holding hands, and walking around in the mall. And then you say, well, how are you doing? Well, her and I didn't get along too well because she couldn't cook like my mother. Now, you don't want to do that. Now, I'm not going to tell you to try before you buy it, but I want you to know you got to do something. And I say that with respect, because that comes from everyone. And when you realize that a person like me lived with a lady for 50 years, I never even thought about leaving. And gentlemen, I want you to know you can live with a lady for 50 years if you just listen to everything she says. And just act like you didn't hear her. And it will work. It worked for me. So I'm not giving you anything negative. Even though your mother cooked better than her mother, don't worry about that. What did I say? Just look over the head. Now, when I stand here, I want you to know how fortunate I am to be able to stand in front of you. but how fortunate you are to not have traveled away and got your education locally. You know, all those big billboards that you see out there, someone had to pay for them. And you acknowledge by coming and staying here. I am so proud that my daughter got her degree from Ohio University, Athens, and spent 2 years here. Do you know how much money that saved? And it is important because, you know, if you don't put that 10% in that jar every night, someone's going to have to pay the price. Because that 401k will dissipate. $385,000 when you retire. Don't realize the charges that they charge you to take that money out, and then it just goes. So buy something, not a car. How many in here can tell me how many cars you have had? Probably a lot of you. Do you know your first car? Do you know your first car? Do you know your first car? Don't keep buying. Use that one as long as you can. Then when you get to be my age, you can buy a good one. Think about that. You know, this morning I talked to a guy that wanted to sell me a safety in case I had a heart attack. He was a young salesman, and I told him, I said, I'm listening to you. And what he wanted to do was have my payment taken out of my check. What do you call that? You know what you call it, don't you? You don't know whether the money's in the bank. Electronic transfer. I says, I can't handle that. He says, well, that's the only way we can sell it. I says, I'm going to let you control my money. So what I'm really telling you is, if you don't have the darn money, don't buy it. Remember that, okay? Also, when you travel around this country, you're going to go into groups where thousands of people are having a good time. Try to stay away from big groups. You know why? Because when the riot starts, you're going to be right in the middle. So when you go to a restaurant, always sit by an exit door. Listen to me now. I'm telling you something that works. Because when the noise starts, you don't want to go to the front, you want to go to the back, even though I used to sit on the back of the bus. So when you realize these little things that I share with you, probably there are people in the audience that are saying, yes, he's right. And I'm only passing on a few things that I have experienced. And I'm going to continue to do that because I'm going to invite every one of you to come to the Underground Railroad Museum, which is located in the big metropolitan of Flushing, Ohio. And there is no charge for you to come, but I'm going to try and give you such a professional presentation you'll be embarrassed not to leave something. And it works because you're giving back. And I want you to not realize this is not the end. This is the beginning of your journey. Now, find someone that could be a mentor to you. My mentor was a fellow by the name of John Hope Franklin and Charles Blossom, both historians. Because when I arrived in this area, I had no idea something called the Underground Railroad. I thought it was a fast-moving train loaded with people. But when you have people who really know their history, people like you have here on your program, David Castle, you listen to these people, because one day someone's going to ask you a question, who was your most respected professor? And I want you to remember, you may not remember me today, not unless you come to the museum. You'll remember me if you come there. But I want you to find a mentor, someone that's positive. But here's one that I want you to remember also. Don't let someone hoodwink you without you following what's called WWW. Why, what's it worth, and where is it? See, people usually don't do things for nothing. So just keep that in mind. I speak at the institution called the Belmont Correctional Institution. They got 2,900 people located. There is something I'm going to share with you, and I want you to remember it. Always follow the 10 commandments, but don't break the 11th commandment. The 11th commandment is, thou shalt not get caught. Didn't say I didn't do it, but didn't get caught. They got caught. They broke the 11th commandment. They blamed the man. And so when you are thinking about doing something, always remember, someone is watching. Those little tidbits that I've shared with you, I hope you picked up one or two of them. If you didn't, I have not done my job. But don't end up over there by breaking the 11th commandment. I broke them all. I just didn't get caught. I trained racehorses. I've owned restaurants. I've met with kings and queens because I've shook the hand of someone who did. See how you shortcut stuff? I didn't meet them personally, but I met someone who met them. And that way, you can always participate in the conversation. Don't sit at the cafeteria table or the executive table and have nothing to say. Be able to participate by reading. Read, 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 read. Even read stop signs, because sometimes people don't stop. I hope you've enjoyed the 2 hours that I was going to spend with you. If not, you're invited to come to the museum, and I'll finish there. May God bless you, and the best of luck in your journey.
Thank you, Dr. Mattox, for those kind and humorous words. We appreciate it. All right, now's the fun time, right? So we are going to have the candidates for graduation come up onto the stage. So feel free to clap when your family member and loved one comes across the stage. Take some pictures, and it's just a joyous occasion, so feel free to share it. So we're going to start with the associate degree. We're going to have the candidate for the associate in arts degree, Lee Ackerman, come forward. We're going to do the bachelor degrees now. So the Bachelor of Arts degree candidate, Austin Wareheim. Next, we're going to do the Bachelor of Science in Applied Management, Cheyenne Bass.
Good job, Shy.
Yeah.
Next, Brian Spence. Giselle Wells.
Go, Giselle!
Our next candidates are from the Bachelor of Specialized Studies major, Justin Curry. Jordan Lepick. The last certificate we'll give out is the Bachelor of Technical and Applied Studies, Jana Hopkins.
Well, so we have I guess another big step is to what we call the tassel ceremony. So I'm going to have the students come forward and we're going to line up here in front. So we don't do caps and gowns in December, but we really wanted them to have this tassel ceremony. So we found some caps and tassels for it. Okay, so this tassel ceremony symbolizes the moment of graduations. So I see you got your cameras ready already, so here we go. It is customary at this time for the degree candidates to transfer their tassels from right, okay, ready, right to left. Okay, so now I think the students have maybe one last step to pick up some stuff. I want to remind everybody that we're having a reception in the boutique lounge. That when you leave, if you just go down the hallway, it's on the left. But we have, we're going to conclude the event tonight with a singing of the alma mater, and not many of us are good at this, so we're going to use a CD. Okay, we got that ready?
We take our book of memories and scan its pages through and through. We'll find no days that glow so brightly as those we spent at old OUE. Within our alma mater's portals, we meet her children hand to hand, and when there comes a day of parting, still firm and loyal we will stand. Alma mater, Ohio, alma mater, brave and fair, alma mater, we hail thee, for we own thy kindly care. Alma mater, Ohio, when we read thy story o'er, we revere thee and cheer thee as we sing thy praise once more. Stand up and cheer, children long for old Ohio, for today raised we rise above the rest. Our team is fighting, and they're bound to win the fray. We got the team, we got the team, for this is old Ohio's day. Stand up and cheer, children for old Ohio, all we do not delay, we rise above the rest. Our team is fighting, and they're bound to win the fray. This is old Ohio's day.
All right, so now the students have gone from being Bobcats to Bobcat alumni. Congratulations. Thank you again, everyone, and we'll see you over at the reception.
We proudly exciting band in the land, the Ohio University Marching One Tip